Hey everybody, Rich here from HFX Gaming Memories, and you may notice our setup is a little bit different today, so what's going on? Well, I've been teasing this idea for a couple of weeks now, and it's time to get going on it. For the last year during the pandemic, I've been doing a lot of meetings online, and on Fridays we always talked about what's going on in our personal life and what we're doing for the weekend. Truth is, I'm not that interesting, so I really got tired of talking about myself and decided to one day say, you know what, I'm going to show you how to make a great mojito. Needless to say, it was very popular and went over well, and suddenly every Friday became cocktail day. So I got thinking, how can I broaden my audience? How can I make sure everybody gets an opportunity to partake in these? And I thought, well, I've got a YouTube channel. Why not use it? But at the same time, I don't want us to lose the gaming aspect of what HFX Gaming Memories is about. So, starting today, March 10th, Mario Day, we are going to be making cocktail and gaming pairing. Lots of people are experts at making cocktails or drinks, beer, wine, whatever, and pairing it with appropriate food, but I don't think anybody's done gaming yet, so that's where I come in. These videos are going to be a little faster than our normal HFX Gaming Memory videos. In fact, I'm hoping to put them up weekly in the summer so that you can enjoy your summer vacation by the pool, beach, or even just on your patio. So, let's get started. Now, most of my videos, the plan is to show you the ingredients, show you how to make the cocktail, and then we're going to get into what game I think pairs nicely with this drink. Now, it being Mario Day, it's pretty obvious we're going to choose a Mario game, so I kind of spoiled that already. But the question is, what Mario game do I think would go nicely with this drink? So you're going to have to stay tuned. If you're just here for the cocktail, that's fine as well. I prefer you watch the whole video, but again, I'm trying to kind of mix both of my interests into one type of video and take with it what I can. Ingredients. Let's look at our ingredient list. We've got some nice vanilla vodka in this bottle here. We've got some Baileys. You could also choose some rum chata, whatever you really like. You got some flexibility in this drink. You want to get a nice syrup, so you've got strawberry. You can also use raspberry, something fruity flavored. Your standard drinking glasses. I went with this nice crystal tumbler this time. I think it's a tumbler. I'm not really great on my glassware. I just chose it because it kind of already looks like a mushroom, so let's just go with that. Shaker glass. And for our mix, you're going to want to use club soda, which I have sitting in the fridge now. So let's get to it. Now, as you can see, I'm moving the camera around, trying to get the best angle to show you everything. A little harder to make drinks in a games room than it is in a nice kitchen counter, especially with the microphone stuffed in behind the drink bar here. So don't mind those little changes. Also, not sure why I called this a tumbler. This is a coupe glass, but you know what? A few of these cocktails, your guests aren't going to care at all. So let's start. We're going to get our shaker cup, and we're going to fill that up with ice. We are going to take 2 tablespoons. I'm just going to do a rough estimate of our syrup. Pour it in the glass, give it that nice pink flavor and color. From here, you're going to take your shot glass. I've got a Pac-Man one. We're going to fill it up with 2 ounces of the vanilla vodka. You can make this as stiff as you'd like. I'm actually just going to make this a little lighter just because the glass is small and it's the middle of the day, so I'm going to have to find someone to drink this for me. Shouldn't be too hard. From here, you're going to toss that into your shaker. Might have to build a bar in the games room, I think. Now you want to make sure you shake this really good because you want the drink to be very cold. You can feel the top starting to freeze in my hand, so that should be good. You can see we've got a nice little pink color. And then we're going to pour that into our glass, and don't worry, I'll show you everything at the end. From here, got our club soda. Now, I didn't have regular club soda. I had grapefruits around for some reason. Now, this glass is very tiny, so I'm just going to use a little bit to top it up. And from here, this is a lot more pink than I expected. Maybe I should have gotten raspberry, but you know what? I'm good with a pink mushroom. Going to take 1 ounce of our Baileys. Now, if we drop this really quickly into the glass, it should sink to the bottom, and that's kind of the base of our mushroom because of the heaviness of it. Now, you can do 2 things here. If you want to get those little specks on a mushroom, take your dessert spoon and just fleck them up a little bit. I like my desserts a little bit more sugary than that. Not so concerned about the design. So what we're going to do is take some whipped cream, give it a nice little mushroom top. And there we have it. That is how you make the Super Mario mushroom. And I'll bring that over to the camera and I'll get some nice still frames for you as well. You can see how that is layered. If you were to use the raspberry, this would be a little bit more red. The rum chata, that would be a little bit more white, but Smells delicious. Okay, we've cleaned up. Now it's time to get down to gaming. Our drink is on our gaming chair. What Mario game are we going to play? All of them. For the Super Nintendo. Nope, I'm not just talking about Mario All-Stars. I'm talking about this cartridge, which a lot of you probably have not seen. It's Super Mario All-Stars and Super Mario World. I found this at a yard sale about 15 years ago for $2, and I couldn't get over the price it fetches now. Up until then, I had actually never seen this cartridge. It actually became part of the Super Nintendo package called the Mario Edition, or Mario Package-In Special. It really didn't have anything fancy on the cover like they did in the Nintendo days. It just showed the game saying All-Stars plus World, but it's definitely great to have in your collection so that you can play Mario All-Stars, which, for those of you who don't know, I don't think there's any that don't, that's the remake of Mario 1, 2, and 3, the original Mario 2, which is called The Lost Levels, and of course, Mario World, one of my personal favorites for the Super Nintendo. Let's take a quick look inside at what this game holds. HD remakes of last generation games are all the craze now, and in my opinion, really lazy. When you go from something like the Xbox One to the Xbox Series X, there isn't a real huge jump other than the frames. But when you go from the original Nintendo to the Super Nintendo, it was night and day in terms of graphics and music. So really, this was a one-of-a-kind game back then. Nobody else was doing HD remakes. Mario All-Stars originally was released in 1993, and a year and a half later, the pack-in cart Mario All-Stars plus Mario World was released. As I said before, the cartridge includes games 1, 2, and 3, The Lost Levels, which was the original Mario 2, and of course, Mario World. As you can see, looking at this side-by-side shot, the graphics are night and day. They're a little bit more reflective of what we saw in Super Mario World. The music is just phenomenal. They did such a great job upgrading this, and the sound effects are out of this world. I really like it in the levels when you're actually underground, that there's a noticeable echo when you pick up coins, jump on enemies, and of course, breaking blocks. Bowser's Castle has a really nice depth to it as well. You can see that there's portraits of him in the background, the flames are a little bit more realistic, and the actual design of Bowser is a little less two-dimensional and has a bit of a 3D feel, kind of like Mario 3. The parallax background in Mario 1 really stands out, and because I haven't played this in so long, it took me a little while to get used to the fact that the background and the foreground were moving independently. Mario 2 for the most part is exactly the same. There's just better graphics, better music, but the same standard gameplay. Mario 3, I found that the colors really popped in this. It was a little bit more vibrant, and it kind of gave the feeling that you are on a movie set, which was always the rumor, and then later proven true that this is a movie or even a theater play that's going on, and you are the viewer. I really liked the overworld stages. I thought that the dancing plants were a little bit more animated, but maybe I'm looking through it with nostalgic glasses. Because Super Mario World was just released a few years earlier, it didn't need a full overhaul like the other 4 games. The difference here is that they added an extra save slot just to mimic what was in the first 4 games on this disc. Where the big change is, and you have to really look for it, is actually in the sprite Luigi. In the original release of Mario World, he was just a palette swap with Mario. Here, they've given him some of his characteristics that are a little bit more familiar with the latter games. He's taller, thinner. Some of his action sprites are different. He actually spits fireballs rather than shooting them from his hands, and when he slides down declines, he actually goes on his knees versus his bum like Mario, but those are subtle differences. Other than that, it's still the same great game. But the real treat on this game is the Lost Levels. As kids, we had no idea that the old Mario 2 was just a bait and switch. So when this came out, we were kind of confused. Is this a new game? Is this something that we never heard of? Nintendo Power and the other magazines finally explained it to us, and we understood that we were getting the release of the original Mario 2 that was not released in North America. However, on the All-Stars cartridge, it is a little bit different. The upgraded graphics make it much easier to tell the difference between the regular and poison mushrooms. You can see that the standard mushroom has the Mario 3 look with the standard red and white, while the evil killer mushrooms have a blue. In the original cartridge, you had to look really clearly to see a crack in it just to see if it was the bad mushroom or not. They also added in mid-level checkpoints and toned down some of the difficulty. So it's still a hard game, but it's much easier than if you were to play it on the original Famicom or any of the various releases that came out afterwards. Well, that's a wrap on our first cocktails and game pairing, and I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. So these videos, as I said, are going to be a little bit more frequent than the standard HFX Gaming Memories episodes because they take so much work to do, and my time is pretty limited these days, but I still love doing them. So please, if you have gaming memories, stories, still hit me up at hfxgamingmemories@gmail.com, get us on Twitter at hfxgamingmemory, or put things in the comments. If you have a cocktail that you'd like to share with us, or a game that you'd like us to pair a cocktail with, please do the same. Until next time, drink and game responsibly, and we'll see you then.